Did you miss me? We're not going to talk about, we're not at this moment where I've been and why I haven't been doing videos or whatever. That's totally irrelevant to what I'm about to talk about, okay? But we'll get to that later on. There are other videos coming after this, just by the way. But yeah, this video is about Miss Kim Kardashian. She filed for divorce. I don't know if it was Monday, today. And the reason why I'm doing this video because one, I've been going for a minute. Now I'm back with the jump off. And I haven't did videos in a while. I just said that. And because I don't really do videos about current events such as like celebrities and stuff like that. So yeah, this would be fun, you know. And I got a nice opinion about this situation. So yeah, I found out today my grandmother was getting ready to go to an appointment and she said, you know, that Kim Kardashian is something else. She's haven't even married a full year and she's already getting a divorce. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she said, they just said on the news that she's getting a divorce. I said, you are lying because I was just on TMZ and there was nothing on it. They were talking about Heidi Klum's costume. So I get on there and big as day, Kim Kardashian files for divorce from Chris Doofus Humphries. I will get to him in a second. So, I chuckled and laughed, and then I put it on Twitter, and then I put it on Facebook. And, to me, the whole situation, when I found out she was even getting married, was laughable to me due to the simple fact that there are certain women in the industry that I could never see getting married. And if they do get married, they don't stay married for a long time. 1, Kim Kardashian. 2, Christina Milian. 3, Halle Berry. And these women are beautiful women, but it's something about them, obviously, that they're doing to either themselves or they're doing to their spouses that they don't want to be with them. It's something about them, you know. So I was just kind of like, okay. So when I found out about the situation, you know, everybody has an opinion about her getting married and her still loving Reggie and all of this other shit. So I thought it was quite interesting that she was getting married so quickly, because I'm like, I don't even know who this dude is. Like, my opinion really matters, but just like, you usually didn't see her with nobody. Like, Kim is real quick. Like, she treats her man like a pair of Louboutins. Like, she put you on, she put you off, and she walked to another pair. Like, she ain't got time for that. So I was quite shocked and yet a little bit stunned when I found out they were getting married so quickly. So I said, okay, you know, whatever the situation is. Then I found out that they had got married and they did a special on E! Now, when the special, I heard about a 2-hour special about her motherfucking marriage, and I'm thinking to myself, like, bitch, who really gives a fuck? I mean, I will be watching, but I'm just saying though, who, you know, like, this ain't the royal wedding. This is a Kardashian event. But whatever. She's royalty over there at E! Because they slicing her some nice cheddar checks. So I'm like, cool, okay, whatever. I'm watching the entire, mind you, this is the first time that any of us have really got, as viewers, have got any insight to who Chris Humphries is, what he's about, what he even does, who the fuck he is, any of that. Because beforehand, I didn't know. I'm not a big sports fan, so excuse me for being a little bit ignorant to who the hell he is, but I just didn't know. So then I'm just seeing them constantly bicker and go back and forth. Now, mind you, it is obvious that when you first get with somebody or you guys are dating, there's going to be tension or whatever. And especially with a TV show, people forget that they take a footage of a 24-hour day or a 12-hour day, and then they put all the fights that happen within 12 hours into 30 minutes. So it looks like it's way worse than what it is. So I was giving them the benefit of the motherfucking doubt. So then I figure out, okay, so then after they got married or whatever, after the special, like literally 2 hours after I watched that Kim's fairy tale wedding, mind you, Kim's, not KK's fairy tale wedding, not Kim and Chris's fairy tale wedding, not the Humphries fairy tale wedding, Kim's fairy tale wedding. I said, you know, there's something a little iffy back there, but let's go back when the actual wedding went down before it was televised. The first pictures that you've seen of her were of her and her bouquet by themselves. Bitch, who did you just marry your bouquet? Did you marry your motherfucking self, bitch? Why are you alone? What's that about? Like, you're supposed to be together. At least Star Jones' saggy ass had the audacity to kind of flaunt her husband around. But Kim, fuck all that, bitch. It's the Kardashian show, bitch, okay? Unless it's Khloe, Kourtney, Mason, or my mom, or Bruce, maybe. Nobody else can get up in here. So since she didn't marry none of them motherfuckers, he was not invited to the photo op after the wedding. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. So I said it on Twitter. I said, I give them to the end of the year. Until the end of the year, something's gonna happen and they're gonna get a divorce. I said if they don't, I give them to Valentine's Day. And I was motherfucking right. I was right. Miss Cleo ain't got nothing on me. I was so right. I knew that something was gonna happen. I knew. They already, I honestly, let me just be honest and very frank here. I watch the Kardashians. I am a fan of the Kardashian clan. I think their mother is great because she makes sure that they get that money. She turned their 15 minutes into 50 minutes and we are only on minute 20. So I still feel like we got a ways to go with them girls, So don't get me wrong. I'm not a hater. I think marriage is a beautiful thing, but in Hollywood, when you put cameras in your situation like that, it's only bound to turn up one way. Fucked up. That's just bottom line. There is no way that you can function and your girlfriend slash fiance slash wife is the biggest media whore since Paris Hilton. And I love me some Paris, but we already know where the situation stands. Shout out to my girl Paris. She followed me on Twitter. But I mean, this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? This is their job. Her job is to be Kim Kardashian. She doesn't have a job title. Like Kim Kardashian, yes, she's a reality star. She's an actress. She's an entrepreneur. But all of this came from, y'all know what I'm about to say. I'm not going to even say it because I respect Kim a little more than that. But it is what it is. So my whole thing about everything with the marriage was, how is this dude? Nobody even knew. I don't even think he understood what the fuck he was getting into, to be so very honest. Now, let me just, we're going to do it in a reenactment, okay? Because I honestly feel this is how everything went down. Kim was at a game, one of Chris's games, where he was, warming the bench, and she was just like, she asked her friend, oh my god, who is that? And she was like, oh, that's Chris. And she's like, oh my god, Chris who? What does he do? And she was like, he's like a bench warmer. And she was like, oh, okay, so he doesn't make money, he's not like Reggie. And she was like, no, he's not like Reggie. She's like, okay, well, maybe I'll try something different. So then she was like, okay, let me introduce you to Chris. So, they met or whatever at the game or whatever, and she was just like, hi, I'm Kim Kardashian. And he was like, hello, my name is Chris. Because he's so stupid. So she figured out, a little bit about him. She's like, nah, I used to play football and I like all the different stuff. And, and then he came up and said, I'm half black. And she was just like, oh, really? You're like half black? Oh, you have a big penis? And he was like, yeah. And so they decided to, smush. So when they smushed, her mom called. Now, mind you, you guys, this is pure speculation, but I think this is how the whole situation went down. So she get a call from her mom the next morning after they smushed or whatever and was like, hello, hey, Kim. And she was like, hey, mom. And then she was like, what are you doing? And she was like, nothing, just kicking it, just with my friend Chris. And she was like, who's Chris? And she was like, Chris Humphries. And she was like, who? She was like, Chris Humphries. He's like a bench warmer. He plays like in practice. So she was like, oh, okay. He's an athlete. She was like, yeah. She's like, okay, well, I need to talk to you. So call me as soon as you leave and you start your day. So Kim goes over to her mom's house, the Jenner compound, and she was like, hey, mom. And she was like, hey, Kim. So she was like, okay, Kim, I have this great idea that you could just like marry Chris. And she was like Chris Humphries, like I just met him. And she was like, but you could like marry him as a publicity ploy to get more money, and I can get my 10%. She had her board out, and she had her 10% up in the corner or whatever. So she's like, oh, I get what you're saying. So it could be like the biggest thing since like how Britney Spears did it. And she's like, yeah, but we're going to just do it like a little bit better. It's going to be real extravagant. So then Courtney walks in, and then she's like, hi, Drama. And she's like, hey, Court. So she's like, what's up? And she was like, Court mom is like saying that I should marry Chris. And she's like, who the fuck's Chris? And she's like, Chris Humphries. And she's like, who the fuck is Chris Humphries? And she was just like, he's like an athlete, but I'll tell you later, okay? It's not important because it won't even last. So she was like, so basically what you're saying is you're gonna marry this guy you don't even know in order to just like outdo everyone in Hollywood. And she's just like, yeah. She's like, good plan, Chris. Good plan. Kim, I love you guys. Bye, bitch. So she leaves or whatever after everything is over. So then nobody's gonna tell Khloe because of course Khloe got married in like less than a month. So nobody can tell her, because then Chloe's gonna know that Kim is trying to outdo her. So y'all see where I'm going with this, right? Okay, so they have a conversation, and she's like, you know, Mom, I bet you if you make a call to Ryan Seacrest, he'll like pay for everything, have E pay for everything, so that we don't have to pay for anything. We could be like a very zha, you know, diamonds, very extravagant, fab. And she's like, oh my God, Kim, that is such a good idea. That is such a good idea. So they get into cahoots. They don't tell Bruce or anything, because they don't never tell Bruce shit. So all of a sudden, they, you know, put out this ploy, and then they call Chris's people. So they call Chris people and tell Chris, mind you guys, just as allegedly, this is what happened, allegedly, from my own little mind, in my mind. So they call Chris's people. They, you know, get the situation together, because you know he's a bench warmer. Okay, so mind you, he ain't got no money like that. You know, so Kim is shitting all over him with the money. So in order for Kim to get what she want, which is some more press, she gonna marry Chris so that he can get some money out of the situation, so that he won't be as broke. Because he can, remember, he couldn't even play. First off, he couldn't play in a game. Second of all, he couldn't pay for his pastor to even get to California. Or was that in Cali? I think so. But yeah, whatever this, he didn't have enough frequent flyer miles to get his own fucking pastor. Like, really, dog, nigga, you tripping. So anyway, all of that happens, and then after the wedding, Kim is just basically like, you know what, Chris, it was cool and everything. You're a cool, dope dude, but I want Reggie back, and this was all about Reggie anyway. So I hope you get your check in the mail, and I'll see you, you know, around. I'm going to make sure I file divorce tomorrow. So I think that's how everything went down. Honestly, I do feel like that's how everything went down. You don't believe me? Whatever. You call Kim and ask her yourself. But I think that's how it went down. But off that situation, as far as how it happened, I just feel like in Hollywood, people are so quick to jump the broom because they got the money, and they so money hungry, and they so like, just, I want to be famous, I want to just be the, I'm sorry, I'm still in my Kardashian voice, I just want to be famous, and I want to be in, you know, the tabloids or whatever the situation is. But it's just like, it's just really sad though, because even gay people, some people in certain countries can't get married, and these people are, Britney included, because y'all know I love me some Britney, but that bitch was tripping too, with her first marriage. This is Kim's second marriage. They call her Zsa, aka what is that, Elizabeth Taylor. So Elizabeth had 5 husbands. So Kim, you got 3 more to go, honey. So I'm sure those will be televised over Kim's third fairy tale wedding, you know, just whatever. So I just feel like in Hollywood, people just really don't take the sanctuary of marriage seriously. And then you got motherfucking Paul and John, who've been together since motherfucking dinosaurs roamed the world, and they can't even get married. That's fucked up. That's just rude. And then all of a sudden you want to get a divorce like 72 days. Bitch, I know people's motherfucking sew-ins that have lasted longer than her marriage. Seriously, though. Like, this is a joke. Like, really, though? Like, did you plan on staying married when you got married, or was this all part of the game? I'm just saying. I don't know. But all bullshit aside, though, I seriously, though, like, first off, hold on, as a sidebar, don't you hate the motherfuckers that be on Twitter when shit like this happen, and they feel the need to go in and say, well, y'all talking about her is the reason why she trending, and y'all talking about her is the reason why she relevant. Bitch, we motherfucking know that shit, so why the fuck is your stupid doofus ass up there stating the obvious? Stupid. We know that shit. Like, you know, but what kills me is that had this be a motherfucker that you cared about, your ass would be the first bitch in line with itinerary and motherfucking notebook sounding off on how the fuck you feel. If you don't give a fuck, shut the fuck up. That's how I feel. When shit come up about what the fuck I don't give a fuck, I don't comment. I be like, whatever. I don't like X Factor. I don't talk about it. I be like, shit's whack to me. I don't fuck with X Factor like that. And I leave it at that. But then you have the motherfuckers who feel the need to chime into the conversation, but they want to chime in a way where they feel like they doing something. Shut the fuck up. That's why I be blocking and muting motherfuckers on Twitter, because they be on some other shit. Bitch, you want to talk about it when you ready, when you want to. So anyway, off that, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just feel like Hollywood marriages are just bullshit. They shams. They, you know, I feel like Will and Jada, they cool people, but I just, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's all I had to say about Miss Kim Kardashian and Chris Humphries. That's about it. So yeah, I'm about to do my review for Lex Addiction on my case. And I'll see you guys later.